What's up guys, SoggyFlapjackes here, and welcome to Soggy Saturday, episode 48. If you guys aren't familiar with Soggy Saturday, it's basically a series in which I ramble and talk about whatever I want. However, this episode is going to be fairly focused. It's going to be more personal life based around me, so if you aren't interested in that kind of stuff, feel free to click off this video. I understand if it doesn't interest you. But if you do want to hear about what's going on with my life and something that's very relevant to what's going on, with me, and it's going to hold a great bearing and it's going to have a great deal of influence on my future, then feel free to stick around for this video because I'm going to be talking about the college admissions process and application and basically how it's faring for me and which colleges I'm going to be applying to so far. So if you guys want to hear about that, well, stay tuned. So as far as the college admissions process goes, I am going into my senior year in high school, and I am a high school student in the United States, so we do go to university or college after our senior year in high school. And obviously I have some decisions to make as far as which school I go to and also which major or course of study I decide to enroll in. So in my opinion, I feel like I'm more of a mathematical or scientific person. I guess I am more based in the empirical thought process, and I do like cold hard facts and the scientific method and whatnot. I'm not really an artist and I'm not really a musician, so I don't think I'm going to be majoring in those two things, but I could definitely see myself in liberal arts like physics, chemistry, or engineering. So I'm really undecided so far as I'm going into the college application, but that's not really a negative because there are a lot of colleges that give the option to have an undecided major going into your first or even your second or third year. So yeah, it's really good to see that I still have a lot of options open for that, but I probably will be focusing in math, science, or some other form of a combination of those two. As far as schools that I'm selecting, I have two at the top of my list right now. And the two schools that are at the top of my list for college decisions, well, my choice school, my number one school, is the United States Military Academy at West Point. So at this point in time, that would be the school that I would hope for and really dream for if I could get in. However, I don't know how good my chances are. My standardized test scores are pretty good. I'm sure all you foreigners, like any Brits I have who are subscribers of mine, or any other Europeans, you guys aren't probably familiar with the standardized testing system of the United States. But I do have a 33 on my ACT, which is a fairly good ACT score. It's actually pretty good. So that is definitely plenty good to get me into pretty much any university in the nation, pretty much. However, my transcript is a little suspect, and I'll explain that in a second. So yeah, my choice school would be West Point if I could get in. And then another one of my choice schools would be the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. So that is the main campus of the University of Illinois. And yeah, that's just basically their flagship school, and I would really be honored to also get accepted there because they have a very good science and engineering program, and they also have a good business school. So if I consider going into economics, that could certainly be something that is available to me, and yeah, it would just be a good decision to do that. So yeah, as far as applying to West Point goes, it's a very rigorous process, and it's also quite unique in that you have to do a medical exam, you have to do a physical fitness test in which, you run a shuttle run, you do a mile. I believe you also do pull-ups, and then you do a kneeling basketball throw, so you have to do that. I have to get a recommendation from a member of Congress, or in other words, basically a state representative, and he has to sign off to nominate me to be appointed for a nomination for admission to the school. So it's a very complicated process, as well as the fact is they also review your transcript extensively. So I will mention, because I did kind of hint at it back earlier, that my transcript is a little suspect. So here's what happened if you guys don't know about me at all. Basically what happened is, in my freshman and sophomore year, I was a combination of very unmotivated, kind of lack of maturity and lack of drive, as well as the fact is there was some kind of internal family turmoil with my parents getting divorced. So those two things culminated in kind of a bad storm, if you will, of occurrences that really wasn't a really good learning environment for me, as well as the fact that I just didn't have the drive to learn. Come turns my junior year, it turns out that I suddenly became motivated, I had the drive to learn, and I really realized, okay, hey, this is something that is really important to me, and yeah, I should certainly, put my effort forth in it, and I did very well my junior year. That being said, some colleges may want to see a more consistent picture, and they may want to see students with a better 3-year track record, which is something that I don't have. So I do have straight A's pretty much except for 1B in my junior year, except for previous years I had poor grades that really colleges aren't probably going to want to see. So it's really going to be kind of a crapshoot when it comes down to when I'm applying to schools. It's really going to be some schools are going to say, hey, this kid has potential, we might waitlist him going into his senior year. And if you guys don't know what waitlisting is, that's essentially where they look at your transcript and they say, okay, we're not ready to accept you at this time, but we will put you on a waitlist, and we will kind of revisit your application in a few months from now with the general admission. So as I'm alluding to this general admission pool, it's important to understand that usually for most colleges in the United States, there are two admission timelines, basically. There's usually the regular admission and then early admission, where you can apply early and fill out the application early, which usually will give you a better chance of admission. And it's also really convenient because you get earlier notification as to whether or not you were admitted into the school of your choice. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing for all of my choice schools, and any schools that I really consider as, well, choice schools, or schools that I would really consider attending. And then for any other schools that are just probably going to be used as backup schools, or schools that I really don't have a strong interest in going to, but if I don't get accepted to any of my choice schools, I would go to those. I'll probably submit applications to those in the regular decision deadline, which is generally January 31st. So yeah, the college admission process is certainly quite a hectic one. It's quite stressful, so I'm trying to compile my application now so that by the time September, October, and the final mailing deadline of November 1st for all early applications hits, I'll be prepared and there won't be really any stress or anxiety, if you will, because that's something that's, well, obviously not necessary. And I do have a rigorous course load for my senior year in high school. I have all AP classes, so it's certainly going to be a schedule that's going to demand a lot of attention, and I probably won't be able to turn a lot of my attention to filling out applications and writing letters and what have you. So yeah, that's about all this brief video has to offer about a little insight of what I'm considering for college at this point in time. I'll probably do another video updating it as I go along, and maybe later in the fall I will constantly keep that up to date. If you guys have any questions or are just curious, feel free to leave in the comment section below, and as always, leave a like. So thanks for watching, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.